Hey, thank you so much for joining us today on Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We're so delighted to have you with us. We've got another great show lined up, as always. You know, we love doing this, coming to you with music industry news, beats by yours truly, and great interviews with dope artists from all over the world. And so today we have Pennjamin Banneker joining us. And so we're really excited about that. And, you know, we just love doing what we do, right?
Oh man, do we ever, and with a name like that, I mean, hey, that name precedes him, and I know he's got some twists with it and so on and so forth. So we're anxious. I'm anxious. Everybody's anxious.
Yes, yes. So, all right, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the beats, and then we'll be right back with Pennjamin Banneker.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We're very glad to announce we have the one, the only Pennjamin Banneker in the building with us. How are you feeling?
Yo, what's good? I'm feeling good. What's up?
We're so delighted to have you here. And if you could, maybe just give everybody a little rundown. Like, first of all, who is Pennjamin Banneker? You definitely got to tell us about that name and let us know what got you into music.
Oh man, that's gonna be a long-winded answer. But Pennjamin Banneker, I am a hip-hop artist and songwriter from Chicago. A lot of people don't know that I actually do a lot of writing for R&B artists. I wrote for some artists in Texas, Atlanta, the East Coast, one out in California. A lot of people don't be knowing that. I got some music placed on YouTube Red series before. So, but people, when they see me, they be like, "Oh, you a rapper?" Like, yeah, I do that too. So, hip-hop artist and songwriter from Chicago. As far as the name is just an ode to Pennjamin Banneker. It was kind of bestowed upon me by my guys in the studio. I've always been Penn since I started rapping, and we was just in the studio for like 2 weeks straight. They just kept hitting me with the Pennjamin Banneker, and I hated it, right? Because I like I know who Pennjamin Banneker is. I know what he did, for history and what his place is in Black culture. Like, I know what it is. So I felt like that was kind of, I don't want to say sacrilegious, but just a tad bit disrespectful. Because, like, I'm just this little rapper. Like, you can't be doing that. And then after about 2 weeks of them constantly doing it, I was like, yo, this actually worked. So I just kind of went, jumped head first in and adopted it. I kind of, Pennjamin, his is Benjamin. So I had the two N's in there, Penn, and then the jamming. So like Penn is jamming, Pennjamin. And then the Banneker, his is ER. I just put an AR on the end just to differentiate it on some Google purposes type stuff. But that's what Pennjamin Banneker came. It's all a nod to Pennjamin Banneker.
That's awesome, especially that you even have the foresight to make sure that you're searchable. There are so many artists who overlook that. Man, So yeah, kudos to you for that. Isn't this phenomenal, Breezy?
It really is. And I mean, that's a real slammer right there. That umbrella encompasses work. It covers so much ground, and but it still leaves that door open to the historical fact, but the other door is straight to you. So, I mean, it's like ambidextrous almost. But
yeah.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, okay, you mentioned that you do some songwriting. You got to dabble in a lot of stuff. Could you tell us what is it about performing or writing that sparks your passion? What is it that you love about it so much?
Well, the writing part of it, I think I'm an R&B dude at heart. Sing. And then even to go back further in the story, like the whole reason I do music is because Michael Jackson. Like, I wanted to be the next Michael Jackson. But when I realized I couldn't sing and dance, that kind of detoured me. And then when, hip hop kind of really took a forefront in my life or whatever, I was like, yo, I think I could like really do this. And I always had the affinity to put words together. Like, I always had a love for vocabulary, and I always was impressed on like how rappers would express themselves. Like, you could be saying, I like hot dogs, but just the way that you you know what I mean, it was just so creative to me. So I just, I was like, man, well, let me see how I sound and doing that in my voice. So that's kind of how I got into actually rapping. And like I said, the songwriting is, man, I'm a R&B dude to my core, like 90s R&B, Jodeci. I hate Boyz II Men, by the way, but Jodeci, I know R. Kelly is probably taboo, but like R. Kelly, all those acts like that, that's what was in my disc changer, because we had CDs then. That's what I was, that's what I was listening to. And it just kind of naturally started to come out as music started to change, especially hip hop music became more melodic. and auto-tune became more of a staple of the sound of music. Started using that to like, okay, well, this is how I feel. I'm gonna just do it and just give the song to somebody else, and it'll be a female artist. Yo, I really rock with this. I want to do it. Cool, bet. All right, cool.
That's awesome. Especially, you know, that you found a way, and that your passion for it led to being able to help others out. I mean, yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah. One of my favorite songwriters is The Dream, and I really love his music. That was kind of like the perfect marriage for me. Like, oh man, I really love his music, and he writes all these songs, these great songs for other people. I can do that too, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, you did mention that you're R&B to your core, but how would you describe your music for somebody that's new listening to you? So, like somebody who's listening to this broadcast right now, was like, yeah, I kind of want a little flavor for what he sounds like. How would you describe it?
I would definitely say I'm in that realm and that era of like the Wale's and the J. Cole's, that whole Dreamville camp, like that whole sound, the early Kanye West from like, you know, College Dropout to Twisted Dark Fantasy. But it's still got those, like, I love Southern rap. Outkast is my favorite group ever. So I get those Southern like nuances in it. Like I love 8-Ball, MJG, Goody Mob, like I said, Outkast, UGK, T.I. sometimes. But like all of that stuff, it kind of comes out in my music, and that's what gives me the sound I got today.
I feel you, and I know Breezy got something to say with those names you were dropping there.
Yeah, because you in the A, so I know you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, them Cadillacs out the back and everything, you know. So I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, you know, strumming up Cadillac doors and stuff like that. But you know, you're bringing a fresh effect to the show right now. Okay, your positivity, but the realness. You see, you're coming across. I reminisce about other folks in the hip hop realm, but the way you're coming across is like firm but fresh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Firmness in the, you know, your makeup. Firmness in what's made you over the years turn into who you are today. Okay. And so that's a certain firm fresh that I believe the listeners they're really feeling that, you know, because I am, and so to me that's nothing but that good, and because let's face it, there's a lot of folks in the rap world that, you know, they might do the thing behind the mic, but then when it comes to the average business conversation, they're out of the water. So you know, nothing, not to be detrimental to them, but I'm saying right now in you, we've got somebody that actually is coming to the table. So whether we've got on shorts and tennis shoes, or whether we got on suits and ties and business attire, you got it all covered.
Hey man, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And for you to say that, that's something I actually kind of worked on earlier in my career. And because y'all been in conversation with Nate, you know, he kind of set a lot of this stuff up, even though we both working in the emails. But earlier in my career, I relied on my manager to be my mouthpiece and, you know, go and network and talk to these people. And I just wanted to be the artist. And as I got older and I grew, I'm like, yo, man, like, he can't do it all the time. Like, I represent myself better than, and so I really started to work on, you know, being able to, you know, articulate my thoughts and express exactly what I mean, not just in the music, but just in interviews and conversations like this. So I really appreciate you saying that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And no disrespect to him or detrimental to him or anything like that. It's like, okay, let's say if you're a manager at a mega store, Well, no. Let's say if you're an assistant manager at a mega store, it's all cool, it's all well, because the manager's got all the slack and flack and everything. But what happens when that manager goes on vacation? Who's everybody looking at?
Exactly. You
gotta step up to the plate, but you're doing that right now. So I'm giving you big accolades for that.
Hey, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. All right, now this question might be a little bit out of the box, but do you have a guilty pleasure song or something that people listening who know you might be surprised to learn that you like it?
It's funny you say that. You know BTS, right? Like the
the K-pop.
Listen, that Dynamite song. And I play it for people all the time, and I play it to kind of like, annoy them and get on their nerves. But that song is so infectious. Like, they not to like it at the end. Like,
yeah.
McDonald's meal. Now, look, hey, listen, I'm up there. Give me the BTS meal, even though it's the chicken. I just get different sauce. But yeah, man, like for real, that song, I will play it down the street. And another one that I just thought of right now is that the Whitney Houston on her last album, that Dollar Bill joint. I think it's bro. If you catch me at the stoplight and I'm playing that, I'm singing it to the top of my.
I hear it.
Yeah, I don't care.
But
there's some money moves behind that though. Seriously. So when you flash back to Michael Jordan, okay, and him doing his thing with the rings and the championships, then all of a sudden here's Space Jam. You're like, well, how does this correlate? All right, so you fast forward to right now, LeBron James, and then you're talking about space. You're like, how's that? But man, there are some pens to paper with some dollar signs in front of that. And man, those dollar signs, they spin.
You hit it right on the head with that one. You hit it right on the head. You bring Michael Jordan up because I didn't got to mention Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson in the interview. They're my heroes, so I'm good. Good now.
That's what's up. So, okay, yeah, you've been doing this for a while. What would you say is probably the most important lesson that you've learned, like, since you've been doing music?
That everything ain't for everybody.
Oh, man.
I think a lot of acts, and that's no shade to any of the acts out now or anybody, like they never develop their own sound and who they are as artists, so they chase trends and the waves and what's hot at the time or whatnot. And I think that you have to know that that ain't me. That's not going. People can hear it. When you do the music, they can hit, like, I believe what this dude is saying right now. And if it don't resonate in the chord with you, then it's not going to resonate with, whoever your audience is. So that's why I say everything is not for everybody. You got to know what you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and just try and nail them strengths each time out. So, and then when you do that, that's when you get the consistency. That's when they saying stuff like, man, Penn, like, he got a lot of good quality music. That's because I'm trying to that I'm not,
Okay. Stop the interview. Because what I'm hearing, a chick is upper echelon music industry right here.
Yeah. See, right there is where the air horns go. For the other shows, yep.
You see, so. You got a lot of like I mentioned Umbrella earlier. See the young folks. I see the young folks coming up, and you've got some where you can branch off with them. Some of the more seasoned folks that are in it, you can branch off with some of them. Some of those that are at the top, you write songs and lyrics for them. You see, and so that coaching, management experience, that's your middle name.
Hey, we're gonna say Penn the jack of all trades, Banneker.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But that's, like,
And see, that's got dollar signs in front of it too.
But and you know, I tell this to a lot of people. They'll ask like, what would you tell like somebody who's just starting out to make music? And you just referenced dollar signs, and I say like, man, don't even get in this for making money. Like I do this because I really, really love making music and putting words together. You know what I mean? Like, so of course I want to be compensated. Let's
be clear, right?
Yeah, let's of course I want to be compensated, you know, for my talent and my time. But when I sit down and I get in my studio and I'm starting to come up with these songs or these ideas, it's never monetary based. And I think that goes a long way for me. Whereas again, like I said before, like you can hear it in the music if people not being sincere and they not, you know, being believable. If they're just saying what they think you want to hear. You know what I mean? That ain't what it is with me. Yeah. It's pure.
See that the give back helps build your brand. The give back helps brand you as someone who is right in the trenches with them. That to guide, to take them by the hand and show this, that, the other. Okay, and then that creates people speaking about you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so now once that goes, but see, now there's a segment of the show here where Achickwitbeatz talks about what's going on with the big dollars and the big cents with the big companies. Now they're not shy in pushing around dollars and cents now. Okay, so but you're in a position where you got the best of both worlds to enter both doors.
You got it. Yep. Hey, you ain't lied with that one at all.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, like people can hear it. If you could just let everybody know where the people can hear it, where they can go out and listen to some of this goodness that you create and put out into the world and what you got coming up too.
Hey, I am on every single platform that you can imagine. So if you listen to Apple Music's Tidal, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you go to, Deezer, Shazam, all of that, I am there. All you got to do is put in, it's Pennjamin Banneker, but if you type in Penn Banneker, I'll come up. That's PENNBANNEKAR. All my social medias are at Penn Banneker because I just felt like people right now at Pennjamin Banneker was a little bit too long. So I made it at Penn Banneker just to make it short. But yeah, I'm on all the streaming platforms. Currently, there are 3 albums on my, if you go to my catalog, I have 3 albums on there. The next one is coming out late summer, early fall. It's called the VMT. So really, really excited about that one. I've been working on it for like about 2.5 years. So yeah, I'm interested to see, how this impacts.
Awesome. Man, okay, so this is basically like the second time that you've mentioned about making it easy for people to search for you. And I just want to shout out real quick, like Breezy said, we do the music industry news and all that good stuff. What he's talking about, everyone listening, is search engine optimization. And, I know we really focused on the artsy side of this for this interview, but we got to have you back again and we got to talk a little bit more about some of this knowledge and stuff you got. Now, we're not telling you to give all the game away for free though, but we definitely got to dabble into that because, like I said, it's rare that we run into artists who actually know about doing that and doing it the proper way. So yeah, once again, hats off to you.
Yeah, I would love to come back. Like I said, I'm taking a music marketing class right now. I'm the guy on YouTube late at night looking up marketing ideas, because I really want to know. So yeah, if you want to do that, we can certainly have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we can actually set off a special segment entitled "Money Matters."
Yeah.
By Penn Banneker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, nothing but a thing now.
Hey, I'm with it.
That's what's up. So this is coming close to time for us to kind of wind it down. But if there's any thoughts that you kind of want to leave the listeners with, you're more than welcome to do that now.
I just want to let everybody know that the first and second singles for the VMT are out right now on all your streaming platforms. The first one is Prologue. The second one is called World, featuring Miette. Two different vibes, but that's just going back. I think that's what I give you as an artist. Like, you know, you're gonna get all sides of me. So I really hope and encourage listeners, you know, if they liked what they heard in this interview, to go check that out for sure. You won't be disappointed. It'll translate that this is me authentically, and I think that'll connect with the listener. So that is
don't even say if they like what they heard, because we know they do.
So yeah, I was trying not to be on my cocky. I was being humble. Yeah, I was being humble.
Try not to blow your own horn. We get it.
Yeah.
But we'll say it for you. We know they like it. So how about that?
Hey, look, I appreciate it. Hey, if you'd have caught me on stage, I'd have been like, yo, I know y'all like it. So.
Love it. All right. Yeah, we really thank you for joining us. It's been great having you on, and can't wait to have you back.
Hey, anytime. Y'all name the time and the place, and I'm there. Let me know. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Appreciate you too.
All right. It was so awesome to have him on the show. I mean, I just loved his energy, all the wisdom that he has, and, you know, just grateful that he took the time to swing by and share his story with us.
Yeah, that's the mature energy and mature wisdom, which is really lacking in a lot of places and corners. He felt that.
Absolutely. So yeah, like we said, can't wait to have him back. It was an awesome time. And now we're going to pause for the cause, beats by yours truly, and then we'll be right back with music industry news right after this.
Okay.
back with music industry news. It's been a lot of stuff happening. You know, these stories just pile in from all over, and we try to make it convenient for you by kind of plugging it into one spot so we can, you know, dole this out for you. You don't have to go everywhere searching for it. We got it right here for you. So first thing, Facebook has teamed up with music distribution companies DistroKid and TuneCore to help artists get their music out on Facebook and Instagram quickly. And guess what? At no cost to the artist. So, you know, I think it's really a smart move on their part, because now with the artists being able to plug in their music, you know, in the stories and the reels and stuff, they're going to get more people actually using these products that they so desperately want more people to use. So it's really smart. It's kind of a win-win situation. And so, yeah, if you weren't aware of that, make sure that you check that out, because you never know, like your friends might want to use your music as a backdrop to whatever they were doing throughout the day, or, you know, whatever funny video they want to share. So make sure that you got your music there. That's definitely a place that you do not want to be missing from.
Yeah, you know, and so what that does is it helps to level the playing field. You know, that playing field has been kind of lopsided for a good bit. So, and, you know, we'll get into that at another time. But, hey, I'm just glad that the playing field is starting to get level again for each and everybody.
Yes, well said. All right, and speaking of which, TikTok says that it helps 80% of its users discover new music. 56% of that happens in its For You feed. So after listening to new music, 47% add those tracks to their favorites. 46% of those actually view the artist profiles, and 43% start to follow them on the app. So, I mean, it's big things happening. Once again, that's another place you definitely want to make sure that your music is. So a lot of times people kind of tend to overlook that when they're talking about music distribution. So, you know, they're automatically thinking the major stores that they know of, as in, you know, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, Deezer, you know, the main ones. But you definitely want to make sure that your distributor can get you to these other places as well. So, I mean, if you look at those percentages, you're near half of that for everything. So anytime that you don't have your music there, that's, you know, potential fans that you could be missing out on. So definitely make sure you keep that in mind.
Well, you know, that in business as an entrepreneur, and the main front, the front door is statistics tell and stories sell. I'll say that one more time. Statistics tell and stories sell. So statistics don't lie. Right. So if that's what they're coming up with, and those percentages, you best believe it's on the money right there. So you got to follow those statistics, but turn that into a breakthrough for yourself. All musicians, artists, and people in the industry, turn those statistics into profit for yourself. Use them.
Yes, indeed. That's excellent advice. And okay, so this was a really, really interesting stat happening over across the pond, if you will. Independent label releases make up over 25% of UK music consumption. So that's a huge chunk of the pie there. And, you know, we just talked about a couple of weeks ago about how it's looking over here in the US as well. So you've got Universal right there, but then the independents are right behind them. So independent artists are gaining like a huge stake in what people are listening to. So that's always excellent news. It's nice to hear that, you know, it's spreading worldwide, not necessarily just in the US. But, you know, along with this information, it was interesting to notice where some of this was coming from. So independent's highest format share in 2020 came from vinyl. So that was 35% of the sales, and that's continued to rise within the first 3 months of this year already. So it's just shy of 40%. So people are still buying physical copies, although, you know, a lot of people are streaming. Streaming's increasing and, you know, continues to grow, but some people still want those physical copies. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You know, especially on the independent artist tip, sometimes it can cost a little extra money to get those in hand. But, you know, with people going back to shows and that stuff starting to pick up again, now's a good time to start considering that if that's something that you want to be a part of.
Hey, I tell you what, the first time I ever saw Curtis blow in person, he was using vinyl. And guess what? And that's a long time ago. And even to today, they're still using vinyl. So, hey, go ahead with the vinyl. Go ahead with the facts and statistics.
Yep. All right. And this has just been buzzing everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, that the Vivendi shareholders just approved the plan to spin off Universal Music Group, which is the world's biggest music label. So, they're kicking off a portion of that for people to be able to invest in it. It's going to be listed in Amsterdam. So we've mentioned that on several different shows as the news has been unfolding. But, it had to wait and get that key stamp of approval from the shareholders, and they just got it. So that's definitely happening. It's looking like it's going to be around September, and we'll keep you informed as we get more information about it.
Hey, sounds good.
All right. 300 Entertainment launched an invite-only DIY distribution platform called Sparta. So, 300, they've had some big names come through there, and now they're trying to open it up for more independent artists. And so the way that they're doing it is you either have to be invited or you can submit your music through a tool that they have online. So the staff will kind of sift through it and decide if they're going to allow it on the platform. So, it's kind of interesting to see how this pans out. There's definitely opportunities there if that's something that you're interested in. So yeah, definitely make sure that you check out Sparta if you kind of want to be affiliated with some of the good things that they're doing over at 300.
All righty then. More for folks.
Yes. All right, there's been some stuff happening in Sony Music Australia. There's been some complaints about the company culture. People kept saying, well, when are they going to have their Me Too reckoning and, some of the other things that were happening there. And so now they've been shuffling through some executives, if you will. So first off, the Sony Music Australia chief, his name is Dennis Hanlon, was fired. And then about a day later, his son, Pat Hanlon, was fired, and he was the vice president of A&R. And then another executive called Mark Stenbecky, he was the senior vice president of strategy, corporate affairs, and human resources. So both the son and Mark Stebnicki have been what they referred to as stood down. So basically kind of placed on indefinite leave while they're still doing this investigation. So, they've let go quite a few people within a short amount of time. Now, nobody said that these people specifically have done anything wrong, so to speak. But, it's got people kind of up in arms wondering what's going to happen. No successors have been named. So, we don't know who's going to take over after all this stuff goes down. And just something to kind of keep an eye on and make sure that you're aware. Company culture, it's important that there's a safe space for everyone that's involved, that works there, all the artists and all that stuff. So, we'll wait to see how this pans out. But yeah, there's been some upheaval going on over there.
Well, nothing surprises me.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time to talk about NFTs. It seems like it happens every week because there's always more stuff going on with it, and it's just kind of interesting to watch this unfold. And now this story's been buzzing around. There's a good chance that you've heard about it, but we got to kind of talk about this because I think it's an interesting case. So an NFT related to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album has led to a lawsuit of Damon Dash. So, most people know if you're into hip hop, if not, maybe you weren't aware of this, but Reasonable Doubt was released on Rockefeller Records, which was co-founded by Jay-Z and Damon Dash. So Jay-Z's suit says that Dash holds a minority share in Rockefeller Records, but he has no right to sell the NFT. Now, okay, this would definitely be true if Dash was actually trying to sell the Reasonable Doubt album as an NFT, but he says that that's not what he's doing. He's trying to sell his share of Rockefeller, not the actual album itself. So basically the terms of the deal would mean that the buyer would purchase Dame Dash's share, but Jay-Z would still maintain exclusive administration rights to the album. So basically, Dame Dash was trying to do exactly what we were talking about last week that Lil Dicky was doing. And so, they announced that he was the first to actually sell, the first ever music publishing NFT, to where if you bought it, you get a percentage of his song, save that money. So that's what Dame Dash was trying to do with Reasonable Doubt. So, there's actually nothing really wrong with that based on that logic. So he was working with Superfarm to mint the NFT, but they canceled the auction, at Rockefeller Records' request. So if you look at it, it seems like the suit is being based on the description of the NFT when it went on sale. So if you take a look at the syntax of what they said for the product, it's an auction for Jay-Z's iconic album, Reasonable Doubt. But if you look at what Dame Dash said, you can actually kind of see how it fits his claim. So it kind of would mean if you buy this NFT, you'll get any revenue that Dame Dash would have got for the album copyright. But you can also see why it could have been interpreted the other way, as in, it's a full-fledged sale of the copyright. So it kind of just boils down to semantics. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Because, if it really is the way Dame Dash said that he was trying to do, it should be no problem. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Okay. Now, here's some 2 cents. If you got a collaboration with somebody, if you want to do something on the outside, just have a conversation with the person you have the collaboration with.
Yes, that is very true. In this particular case, those two kind of have a rich history, so I can see why he would have tried to sidestep that. Because, everybody knows they didn't part on the best of terms. So, yeah, I think that the description definitely could have been more clear as to what he was trying to do. But we're thinking maybe Superfarm was just trying to make it sound a little bit better. So, yeah. That's always the safest route to go, to make sure that everybody's on the same page and they understand what's happening. But yeah, like I said, it would be interesting to see how this plays out. Both are very, very astute businessmen. So, and they're about their money. They didn't get to where they are without, checking everything through. So yeah, it's definitely something to watch. But yeah, just as you said, Breezy, yeah, always make sure that you have those conversations. There's a lot going on in this field right now, even though NFTs aren't new, but now that they're starting to get a whole lot more mainstream buzz, more and more people are trying to figure out how to get into it, and sometimes jumping the gun.
Yeah. Or in this case, since they've gotten to large levels, high levels, then, one of the parties get your legal team, draw up some stuff, contact the other party's legal team, let them review it, or let them at least discover. That's discovery. Let them be aware of it. And maybe they say they're agreeing with it. Maybe they say they're not agreeing, but just steps like that prevent events like this. And
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. And so, get your people to if you left not on great terms, then just get your people to contact the other people and let them hash it out.
Yes.
and hey, it could be a win, it could be a loss, whatever, but at least let those legal folks hash all of that out ahead of time with your former collaborator. And then, but see, that's why they call this SUSA.
Right.
It's not a USA, it's actually called SUSA, because United States leads the entire world in lawsuits. By far.
Sue first, ask questions last. Yeah. All right, more NFT news. Russell Simmons and Tokau are launching an NFT collection called Masterminds of Hip Hop. So it's going to be a collector's series that will be broken into 2 phases, pre-recorded and early recording. And they're hoping to have at least 15 hip hop pioneers sharing their stories and releasing at least 40 exclusive NFTs. So, depending on how they actually work this out and, what is included with those NFTs, Sounds like it'll be a dope deal, with these people sharing some behind the scenes history, and with people being able to join in on that auction to kind of own a collector's item piece of the history. Sounds pretty exciting. So I'm interested in seeing what they do with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal.
And the Universal Hip Hop Museum is auctioning off a collection of hip hop icon NFTs titled A Love Letter to Hip Hop. And so it's going to feature illustrations from Andre Leroy Davis. So there's all types of opportunities, lovers of the culture who kind of want to own pieces of it, and, all the things that pay homage to it. That's definitely something else to check out.
Yes.
All right. And blockchain-powered financial platform for artists, Opulus, just raised $6.5 million. And so now they want more artists to sell NFTs through their platform. So back when Opulus was operating as Blue Box, they were the first to host a split copyright NFT sale. So artists Big Zoo and Taylor Bennett each had sold a collection of 1% stakes in their unreleased music. And all items sold out in less than 30 seconds. Not days, not hours, not minutes, but seconds, people. Here, that's bananas. So over 10,000 people were trying to get in on it. So now the company's trying to welcome a wider range of artists to be able to do the same thing. So definitely something to check out, kind of pay attention to. But man, selling out in 30 seconds is just wild.
It is. Wilder than wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so, okay, not everything is always roses as far as cryptocurrency goes. We're talking about the NFTs and all that. So the 11th Circuit decided to toss out the class action against TI. So a class of investors had invested thousands in what they call Flick tokens. So it was a cryptocurrency that was promoted by TI and other celebs. So the tokens were sold to kind of help launch Flick and its movie streaming platform, but the platform never launched and the company is now non-existent. So it was tossed out due to the statute of limitations. And I guess as the judge was tossing it out, he made multiple references to T.I.'s songs while he was doing so. So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing, but yeah, you got to be careful, when you're invested in this stuff. Always be cautious. Always make sure you do your research, because not all that glitters is gold. And so, it doesn't say that it was actually thrown out because of lack of a reason to, but it was just too long to actually have something done about it. So keep your eyes open. Doesn't matter who's advertising it, you still got to do your research.
Yes. Okay, now in legal terms, in the legal world, there's a phrase that's a Latin phrase that was created many moons ago, and that phrase is caveat emptor. Caveat emptor. And that phrase means let the buyer beware. Okay. And so just like you're saying, you check things out ahead of time, or, even from the very beginning of things, you got to surround yourself with some capable legal professionals that if you're that busy, then put that in their lap and let them hash all of that out for you, and make sure that they're competent people. That way, because as I referred to, coronavirus, the United States actually led the world as many as 40% more lawsuits taking place in the United States than anywhere in the world. Okay, so knowing that, now if you're living somewhere else, you can live as you want, but if you're in the United States, that 52% of every person that you see as you're going down the street or driving down the road or whatever, 52% of them have some kind of legal issue as is. Okay, so what we're saying to you is take a look at protecting yourself in some kind of manner and investigate these things, these deals, research these. And if you can't do it, get somebody who's competent that can do it for you. It's worth paying them ahead of time than leading you into some kind of financial pitfall that you can't recover from. Absolutely.
So definitely some things to keep in mind. With these deals and stuff happening everywhere, it seems like we're talking about new deals happening every week. And so, yeah, to have somebody on your side to make sure that they've got your best interests at heart is super important.
Yes,
All right. And speaking of deals, Warner Music spent over $100 million to buy David Guetta's recordings, his catalog, and a deal that also includes his future recordings. So that's a lot of a huge chunk of cash to come up off of. And, we're seeing this happening like all the time. So that was one. Sony Music just bought a majority stake in Alamo Records for over $125 million. So, and they've been doing a whole bunch of stuff within this last 6-month period. So, so far they've purchased Jay Irving's Human Resources and Cobalt's AWOL, and even that deal was for like $430 million. So, yeah, all this stuff is going on. As we're watching what's happening with the majors in the industry and trying to, replicate it on the independent level. Always make sure, just like Breezy said, you have that advice, and he can help you out with that, right?
That's right. And as these deals are being consumed or finalized, don't fall for the hype thinking that they came up with the idea on Monday and then the deal was finalized by Wednesday of that week. It doesn't work that way. They turn over to their legal teams. They do the research. It could be weeks. It could take months before everything is finalized and all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Okay. And so then the deal is done and folks are putting it in print or, like with us, bringing it in music news, so forth. But at the beginning of the day, you still got to protect yourself in some form or fashion so you don't end up on a bad end and owing somebody just because you thought you could slide through and you didn't need legal consultation or legal protection in the beginning. Because believe me, no matter where in the world you need it, but especially in good old USA.
Yes. So, all right, that wraps it up for this week's edition of Music Industry News. We're going to take a quick music break and then we'll be right back to close out the night with you.
Okay.
And that's a wrap for this week's Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We'll be back next week with more goodness for you, and I can't wait.
I can't wait for the new music news from next week, as well as the guests. Oh,
yeah. So, all right, you know where to find us. Same time, same place. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.